You all right?
Andy, you there?
Yeah, man. You all right?
Yeah, all good.
It's it.
Just gonna mute my cell phone too.
All right, man.
Just waiting for Harvey to show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Candle.
Cool. Okay. Let me just invite him in.
Oh wow, I'm here. Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you just great, guys. You guys can hear me okay?
I can. The dream team's here.
The dream team, absolutely. We'll just wait another few seconds here to make sure everyone's gonna get here. It's 2:59 local Phoenix time. So here we go.
All right.
Shinary's here too now.
Yeah, everyone can hear us already. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they can.
I'm an
Yeah.
island boy. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, guys, we'll get started. And live from Phoenix, Arizona, I'm Ginger. I'll be your host today for the meeting. As you all know me as Ginger Beef, and I'm excited to be here. It's been quite a ride for us here. I met the guys back in September, and I knew at that time I needed to be part of this project. Andy, Harvey, how are you guys doing today?
Fantastic.
All right, very good.
Great.
Not too much podcast, so doing good.
Yeah, for sure. That's a lot of traveling, lots of air miles for you. Hey.
Oh yeah, man. I'm still a bit jet lagged, to be honest.
For sure. So before we begin, for everyone in the community, I'll make a standard safe harbor, not financial stuff statement here. So this discussion may include predictions, estimates, or other information that may otherwise be considered forward-looking. While this discussion represents Andy's and Harvey's current opinions on what the future may hold for Neoxa, they are subject to crypto industry and related market risks and uncertainties that could cause actual results to differ materially. We are therefore cautioned not to place undue reliance on these opinions as financial advice or as investment strategy. Lastly, these opinions and statements are reflected only as of the date of this presentation. So with that, let's get started.
Sounds good.
Andy, before we get into the community AMA, please take a few minutes to update us about the last couple of months. Lots of time in Thailand, lots of time building marketplace. Go ahead, guys, then we'll dive right into questions.
Yeah, well, I mean, I spent the last 4 months in Thailand. I've spent more time there the last 4 months than I spent in my home, and I mean, it's been shitty, if I'm quite honest, to say it lightly. But I mean, spending time away from the family for the first time for that long. But what we've achieved and where we are, it's completely been worth it. Maybe not worth a divorce, but I don't think I'm there
boy.
yet.
I hope it didn't come to that, Andy.
Yeah. No,
It's
not
close.
but yeah, I mean, it's been alright, to be fair. Thailand's a strange place. I mean, it's something to get used to, but I love it, man. It's fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. Harvey?
Yeah, I've just been busy with the marketplace, really, for the past few months, and obviously without Andy being here, it's we both work together on things. So I've been basically just dealing with building the marketplace, but then obviously managing the community as well and the game side of things. So it's been tough, but we've done it, and it's good to be where we are now. And I'm happy for Andy to be back.
Yeah, no doubt. And one of the reasons that personally I became invested in the project is I've never met two more driven developers like you guys, and just your commitment and devotion to everything that you guys are doing. And I know you guys are funding a lot of this stuff on your own dime, and it's a struggle at the startup for sure. And I know that a lot of the community members are looking for instant results, but
Hmm.
you know, the reality, it doesn't happen that way. You know, things
No.
have to get built.
Absolutely.
yeah.
So
I mean, this is the thing. Like, we see people in the Discord, and they say, "Oh, why are you not doing X, Y, Z?" It doesn't work like that. You know, when you're a startup, it takes time. It takes time to like the whole idea of me and Andy right now is people don't understand that we're trying to build the foundations of the project for when it does grow. You know, we've got to get everything in place for when it does grow. You know, the game side of things as well. That's, you know, we're building sides on the game, and we're just learning as we go and fixing things. But everything we're doing is fixing, like, basically preparing it for when it grows, if that makes sense. Just building the foundations as a whole.
for sure.
And some people don't quite understand that. Things take time. But we're happy where we are.
Yeah, and that's excellent. I guess I'll start with one fundamental question asked by the community before we get into it. Jerusa asked, "What's the meaning behind the name Neoxa?"
We just sat one out on Discord talking shit, and we pretty much came up with the name Neoxa. And then we Googled it, and we found out it's a watch. But
Yeah.
yeah, they don't own the name. It just sounded good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we had this one before in the past. It was like, so I think, what was it on? Was it on Mining King's stream, I think?
Hey guys, Mining King, yeah, Mining
Exactly,
King.
yeah. And it's just, we just put a few words together, and there we are. I mean, I think if you search Neoxa now, the watch doesn't really exist
Oh yeah,
on the
it's gone.
result. It's
Yeah,
it's probably worked for them, really. They might have got more sales. I don't know.
or
Buy a Neoxa.
bankrupt.
We don't want
For
that.
sure.
Buy a
But
Neoxa watch.
yeah, yeah. And you know, one of the reasons I'm here too is you know, the community was a standout for me and really attracted me to the project. And you know, with that, the community asked a lot of questions, and I've put them into a few of the groups for where most of the questions landed. Number one will be Masternodes. Number two will be the games we support, along with future games and some, you know, marketplace Q&A. We'll be going on to the new partnership, and you know, finally we'll touch on the new exchange. So time
All right.
permitting, I'll relay live questions. I guess we'll do them in our general channel if we have time, but we like to keep it to about 60 minutes. We know it's late in some parts of the world. It might be even 3 a.m. In other parts as well too. So we'll want to move it along. So let's get into Masternodes. Chaos asks, do you have more specific information on the network requirements for Masternodes? And if it turns out, can you only have one per IP? You know, and are there plans in the future to increase that number like Flux does?
Okay, so I can explain that. So when we start Masternodes, in the beginning, it will be you can have multiple nodes on one IP, but when we add the streaming platform, it's going to have to be one IP per node. So for now, when it launches end of this month, no, not this month, end of March, sorry, then you can launch multiple on one IP. But in the future, when the streaming comes, we're going to have just one IP per node.
Yeah. So to be fair, if you're invested, then I recommend just getting those IPs ready, just for the save headaches in the future. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's a great segue into the next question, where need more Nexa asks, and again, don't we all need more Nexa or Neoxa? Sorry guys, I'm going to call it Nexa.
Nexa.
Ah, there
Oh
we
God.
fucking
I'm
go.
going to call it Nexa for
Oh
the next 20 years.
God.
I'm sorry guys, it's Neoxa. But
Neoxa, yes. He's on the wrong team, I think.
yeah. So Need More Neoxa asks, will nodes be used for more than just blockchain consensus down the road? And following up on that, will they have different collateral requirements, and what would they be?
Yeah, so are we going to start off with just the one requirement, which is 550,000? The use case will be purely streaming for us, where we can have censorship resistant streaming platform. There's not many of that around. where your traditional streaming platforms, you can just, I mean, someone can just contact Jeff Bezos and say, shut this shit down. That's not something where we want it. So if we can have a whole node network where people can upload and stream without being censored, that's something that I feel is quite important, especially when it comes to blockchains. I mean, that's why the blockchain really exists. And that's why we want to go into that directly.
Not only that, with being a gaming cryptocurrency, I mean, if we have multiple nodes running on the network, then why not utilize them to be game servers? You know, we are gaming cryptocurrency after all. So if we can get something in place where we can have, like, you know, you pay Neoxa, you get a game server, then why not? Everyone, you know, everyone loves game servers. You know, even if they're just like private game servers between friends, spending Neoxa to get that could be big. But that, like I said, that's going to be something in the future and where we get to with the Masternodes. Because Masternodes are great. You know, people lock their coins in and they get rewarded, but you know, you might as well make something useful of that, of the hardware, you know.
Sure. So in terms of collateral requirements, one of the questions I guess I would have on that too is, you know, right now with Neoxa being fractions of a penny, you know, what happens if it's, you know, 10 or 25 cents or 50 cents or, you know, or more in the future? Is that going to be a barrier to entry?
Possibly. I mean, if you look at Dash, for most people cannot run a Dash node, but that's when services where you can join collateral with other people to create a node comes in. I don't think we'll ever create a tier below 550,000. I just don't see the point of it. We'll have higher tiers, but definitely not lower.
Okay, that's fair enough. So, Algard Crow asks, what will be the best way to get public IPs of self-hosting, and will IPv6 be supported?
IPv6 is definitely supported. As for getting public IPs, there's so many places you can buy. Well, especially speaking to your ISP, probably would be the first step. So I can't see any other ways really. There's obviously some online services.
IPv6 is supported now, so if you run a full node, IPv6 is part of the internet anyway. So yeah, they'll definitely be supported.
Sure, and like these guys have mentioned in the past too, you know, some of our members have been asking, you know, is there going to be a setup guide and, you know, instructions or a video? I'm assuming that's coming. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, obviously, man. We're gonna have step-for-step guides. We'll probably have like a little script to make it easy for everyone.
Yeah, the best thing to do is, you know, you see some projects where they just basically just say, "Oh, Masternodes are ready now." We don't want to be like that. We want to make it so it's as easy as possible.
Of course.
Where you can just get the little nice little script, put your stuff in, and fill it out, and off you go. There's no point of overcomplicating it.
Sure, and Block Tech. That's my dog barking in the background. Sorry about that, guys.
That's all right.
Block Tech asks when Masternodes will be launched. Now, generally we're saying Q1, but I guess he's also implying, is everything on track for a Q1 launch?
Yeah, so we planning to start Masternode development this week. By end of March, we believe we can get it done. And then obviously we have to prepare the guides and all that. But yeah, we definitely want to get it done by the end of March.
Okay, sounds good. Was there any other updates you wanted to give the community, guys, about Masternodes?
Yeah, well, so
really.
I can give something. I mean, there's a few people that there's a few people that have been like saying, "Oh, Masternodes are not started" and all this sort of stuff. But you got to remember, right? We're not reinventing the wheel here. It's going to be like Dash style type nodes. So there are a few people that are panicking. The developer that we have got, who's ready to start, he's done Dash node implementation on Ravencoin before. So he's very familiar with it. It's not a big task for him. The guy we've got again says his estimated time is to get it implemented is like maybe, I think it was like, Andy can probably verify this, like 2 to 3 days, was it?
He said a couple of days, but then we're obviously going to do some testing.
So
we're going to test for a few weeks.
So the test net will be live, and guys can test on there. But like I says, we're not reinventing the wheel to start with. So it's people look at it and they think, oh my god, Masternodes, it's not started, but it's not a massive task. And that's it really. I just wanted to settle that because people were panicking a little bit, I think. But there we are.
Well, I think they're more really excited than than panicking, and that's what everybody is. We're all excited to get our nodes going, and looking forward to that final launch. So with that, I guess we'll move on to the next topic, or the games we support plus marketplace questions. I'll start with Shinary, and just a special shout out to Shinary. The guy's just Superman. Like we've called him.
Oh, he's a legend.
He
Absolute legend.
is.
There he is.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we love the guy. He works tirelessly. I'll see a support question come up, and before I get there, he's already asked it or answered.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I want to see
the guy.
I want to see some love arts in the chat for Shinary.
Yeah, the guy
Already
is
incoming.
the guy's a machine for sure. So Shinary asks, after marketplace and Masternodes are done, what games do we see in the near future for implementing on Next rewards? And secondly, are
Nexa?
SDKs, or Neoxa, sorry,
Oh, there you go.
are
God.
SDKs for mobile games being planned?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're gonna do the SDK is definitely planned, but for now we're not rolling out any new games until the Masternodes is done. We are planning Rocket League in the future. We were planning, but we definitely want to go ahead with it. But mobile gaming for us now is probably the next move forward. We want to move it onto relatively good mobile games because the mobile market's much bigger than anything, especially in your Asian markets where we're not very inclusive right now. If we can get into those markets, we believe that will be much bigger for Neoxa than any other game would be, to be fair.
Sure. And SDKs, you're planning on launching those too?
Yeah, so the SDK side will just be, for example, we'll just present, we'll give a lot of games are made in Unity. Majority game, well, I won't say majority, but like Unity, Unreal Engine. So the plan would just be to provide SDKs where people can either use Neoxa or create an asset on the Neoxa chain to then implement that. So that's where the SDKs will be.
Sure. Next question. DX Core asks, what's the time frame for proof of game to be part of consensus? And leading it to another related question from Drake, how or why is it called proof of gaming while in that game it doesn't provide network security? It's a question we get pretty commonly, and I'd like to maybe spend a couple of minutes on that.
Well, so when we first started, obviously the proof of game and obviously consensus was the plan, and I still believe it. We want to look at that, but the way we are growing at the minute and the way we're heading, it's sort of, I won't say on the back burner, but it's sort of like it's there for the future, if that makes sense. I can see where we can do it, but to take Neoxa to the next level, I don't believe that is going to be something that will, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I could see where it can be possible and where we can implement it, but it's a major task in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I mean, this is not something that we want to get implemented right now or in the near future because we've changed so much since the start of Neoxa. I mean, we never imagined getting a partnership or whatever. So we've got a whole different path forward than we initially had. So right now we're just following the path that makes more business sense. And yeah, for us, that's a partnership with the mobile gaming and then the streaming coming in the near future. But as for proof of game being part of the consensus now or in the near future, definitely not going to happen.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense for Neoxa as it evolves. What you think of day one may change on day, 600.
Yeah.
and we go in a different direction that makes more sense for the project. So
I mean,
that makes a lot of sense.
When we first started, we had that set thing where we said year one would be this amount for gamers, and then it increases. As a project and security wise and all that sort of stuff in mind, we didn't really think of that when we first started, and as we've got into it and we've sort of understand like the ecosystem and how it works and all that, it sort of changes as we go along. We don't want to make drastic changes going forward, but I think that was the biggest change we made, and people, quite a lot of people were upset about that. But again, it's one of those things where we've learned and we set things the right way going forward.
Sure.
Yeah, I
There's
mean,
priorities there.
we learn as we go on. I mean, everything will change.
Yeah.
Lots of things has already changed. I mean, it'll be fucking stupid if we just keep the things the same, and it's definitely not working as it should. And yeah, we just keep on learning and make it better from there.
And the thing is, like, as much as people don't understand, is I don't know of any actual mineable cryptocurrencies that have done what we've done. I mean, it's sort of like I don't know if there's any out there that have tried to attempt what we're doing. So we are basically going into the unknown. So it'd be naive to say, we're going to do X, Y, Z. But again, we have to change with what we learn.
Sure. And that makes sense. Darren also asks, will the community be able to vote for the next coming games with proof of game? Or maybe even just a community vote for next coming games.
Sure. So what I can say on that is we busy with a partnership, so that also going to include some games where it needs to be added in the future. So it's not going to be completely be able to be voted on, because a lot of these games people would like let's say Call of Duty, people would vote for that, and then we've got a whole server full of hackers. I mean, some of the games are just not possible. But saying that, we would like to include the community within some choices of gaming, but probably we set out the games and they can choose, not just give random games. Yeah.
So you touched on, Andy, you touched on Rocket League. IV4 asks, when does Rocket League release?
I can answer that one.
Yeah,
you can answer that one. So the Rocket League side of things, I worked on it. I don't know if people can remember. I asked in the gaming Discord for their Epic Games ID. And it's functional. It's working. We can track it. It works. I could probably release it tomorrow if I wanted to, but I don't think now is the time to release it. I think we need to just focus on Masternodes, and as Andy says, partnership and basically the games we go from there. But in terms of Rocket League, it's functional. So yeah, that's about it really.
Okay. And XRadix asks, so when does Neoxa expand into mobile gaming?
Yeah, so that's literally where we at now. I mean, we finishing up a partnership that's going to drive us into mobile games. I can't say when and what. We just want to focus getting Masternodes out, and after that, we're definitely going to look at it and start working on it.
Okay, fair enough. And I think we'll be touching into that partnership a little later on here. So I'll continue with the questions, guys. City.design asks, what's the, and I think I've asked this question too, what's the contingency plan if Facepunch, Mojang, Rockstar, and whoever all decide that they don't want you doing P2E servers?
Right, I can answer this one. So again, we've had people say this before. Before we add to games, we always ask them first. We always make sure that it's okay. I believe there's a new project. I can't remember the name, but it's going on to Rust. Facepunch are fine with it. Mojang, people probably remember that we questioned them and we had a long discussion with them, and they're fine with it. And Rockstar are fine too. I think the issue with the pay to earn things is when you start requesting NFTs for entry. That's where it becomes an issue. We don't do that. If a game does decide to say, oh, we don't like this, then again, our entire project doesn't revolve around a single game. We can basically, within a week, we can probably move. Rocket League's pretty much ready to go if we wanted to. So it really isn't an issue.
Okay, sure. Because I think a lot of these licensing agreements, that's one of the, it seemed to be one of the fears, but looks like you guys are all in compliance and watching regulations as they move along.
Again, so the issue again is, I think I seen someone said about the marketplace that you're basically accepting Neoxa on a game that's not yours. But you got to remember, example with Rust, you are earning that Neoxa in the server. So you don't have to technically buy Neoxa to get the item. So you could play the game, get the Neoxa, and then spend it. It's no different if you was in Rust. There's a plugin where you can have a level system and reward yourself each level with points. It's no different. However, we've just got the blockchain running on the outside. So people that are playing on the Rust server can spend Neoxa. It's just an external way of gaining access to that shop.
Sure. Moving along, Rara asks, as it currently stands, the Neoxa plugin runs as a layer on top of hosted games. This means that it'll always require a privately hosted server. Are there any plans to alter this model to allow game developers to run Neoxa on their natively hosted servers?
Not really. If we allowed that, unfortunately, we never know if they can reward or send more coins than they should. I mean, we can't allow anyone to run private servers that's not controlled by us. Well, while we do it open, everyone can see what we do. There's APIs to track what we do. We can't let other developers or server owners just run games. I mean, that would just break the whole system, I think.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there's nothing stopping a server owner just rewarding himself. So, but again, we have the asset system in, thankfully from Ravencoin, we have the asset system. So if people want to make their own plugins on their servers, they're welcome to do so. It's and again, it's relatively easy to do so. It's not a big thing.
Yeah.
Sure. Andy, was there anything else?
No, that's pretty much it, man.
Okay, sounds good. So I guess I'll just follow up this point with Harvey. I mean, you've been spending so much time with Marketplace and getting it to work, and the progress has been remarkable in this. And I guess I'll ask you, Harvey, if you could explain how the Marketplace works, and how does it benefit the project going forward?
I mean, I've got this ready. We can share my screen on the Marketplace. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this?
Oh, close spawn up quickly.
That's the wrong tab. Sorry. So yeah, it's quite straightforward, really. So you guys, here we go. Cloudflare. Are you a human? Partially. So basically, you'd sign up, you log in, you choose. The first thing you want to do is go to your wallet. There'll be a generate button here, and you'll get your address. So this address, you'll send coins to this, and then you'll see your incoming transactions, your confirmed transactions, and then obviously your balance updates. And then you'll go to Rust, because at the minute we've not got the Minecraft and the GTA, which we're working on the Minecraft next, and then the GTA. But you basically just choose what you want to buy. So okay, so let's buy I've got a few credits on here. So let's buy some $4,000. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? So there we go. Transaction ID. We've got this in the pending order. So this will, once this is gone through, I think it's every like 1 to 2 minutes, we'll get the this will be sent through to the server. How does this benefit Neoxa? Well, everything that's sent through at the moment is 100% burnt. So if anyone buys anything in the servers, this gets burnt. We can see the latest burns here, 150k, which is quite good for a week. I believe it's been a week that we've been live on the marketplace. So 150k just on Rust. So you got to remember, if we have Minecraft and Grand Theft Auto as well, it'd be pretty decent burn. And then from there, maybe in the future, we've got the leaderboards. I need to remove that anyway. But you can see people that in the month, how much they've burnt, how much they've spent. So we could probably in the future have like a 2% of what everything that's been sent in, of like a sort of like a lottery, but that's not 100% yet. But coming back on how it benefits is, again, burns. Everyone loves burns.
Sure, and I think it also benefits by, these gaming awards just don't hit Trade Ogre, 10 minutes after a gamer receives them too. They have choices.
Of course, yeah. And again, it's gamers, they love skins, they love, I mean, we've had a few I wouldn't really say it's probably complaints, but people have been saying that, with the shop it's paid to win. I've tried to explain to people that it's, for example, in Rust we have a shop system which I just purchased. It might be live now. Okay, there we go. So yeah, that went through to the server. You can see here, that's sent through. So I've just got $4,000 which I can spend on the shop. So when our server wipes, we have cooldowns on the items that you would class as pay to win. For example, weapons. So you can't buy a weapon until it's 5 days into the wipe. After 5 days, most people have these weapons anyway, which again, the reason behind that is to benefit people. Some people are busy, they have a life, they have work to do. If they want to come in 5 days after a wipe and buy a weapon, I mean, it's not really pay to win. It just gives everyone like an equal opportunity to be in Neoxa. If that makes sense.
Sure it does. Yeah, and again, I think we all appreciate all the hard work you're putting toward this. It's I'm personally not a gamer myself. I think the last game I played was Call of Duty, probably 6-7 years ago. But I do recognize the world that gamers live in, and they spend a lot. And this is, as an investor, I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, holy smokes, there's an opportunity here. And these guys are doing it right.
Again, with the marketplace, what people don't realize is in the future, I don't want it to be just, you can buy stuff in our servers. When we're on to better exchanges, there's more liquidity. There's no reason not to have a situation where you can come onto the marketplace, you can buy a specific item, which then automatically sells the Neoxa, transfers it to this, and then you receive, I don't know, a Steam skin or something like that. There's, the possibilities are endless.
Okay. We're just looking at some of the comments as we move along here. So I guess with that, we're about halfway through the meeting. We'll move on to partnership questions. This is a big one for me. When I first read in the Discord that there was a partnership, or there was some, possibly, I call it a real partnership. That's real life partnership, not only with another crypto entity, but OD Bash asks 2 questions. Is the partnership done yet? And 2, is the partnership still under NDA?
Okay, so I'll answer those. Is the partnership done? So I'll tell you where we're at now. I went up to Thailand recently. I came back recently. We in the process with every contract is signed, but unfortunately, doing business in a foreign country, things take time. There's foreign licenses you need to obtain. But now what I did is before leaving Thailand, so we pretty much literally on the last step where it's tax payments and all that, where I now gave an attorney power of attorney, so I don't have to be in Thailand anymore. This can now be handled by our attorney. And so, yeah, the partnership is still ongoing. It's pretty much done. I just couldn't wait around any longer I needed to get back. We needed to get Masternodes started. I couldn't wait around any longer to get it done, but soon enough, we will be able to announce on that. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much where it stands. And yeah, partnership's very, I mean, everything is done from our side. It's now just waiting for the other side. But I've met with the people many times, and yeah, always still under NDA. I mean, yeah, I just the deal's not fully done yet, but I don't know what I can say and what I should say, but it's a partnership that will give Neoxa lots of funding for the future, and to bring us into the mobile industry. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, and I think I'll just expand on what NDAs are for people that aren't familiar. They're non-disclosure agreements, and you break them, I mean, the whole thing can just blow up in terms of not being a good thing. I mean, the partner may walk if too much is made public without that partner's permission.
Yeah.
So that's, the guys are they're really sharing what they can, in my opinion. But we just have to be, again, just patient with that. I'll move on to what Zoki asks. Mobile games were mentioned as a deal with this partnership, and he'd love, and I'd love to get an expanded explanation on all that, how it fits.
Oh, yeah. So one, we're gonna have more proof of games, which now will be mobile. And with that, there's a few things that comes with that. One, like I mentioned before, we'll have mobile gaming site where people will be able to earn Neoxa, but the games will also be monetized. By being monetized, meaning it will generate actual money besides crypto. And with that, we plan on buying from the exchanges all the with the monetized funds. We'll buy from exchanges, and those will go into the burning rate. I'm not saying 100% of the funds, definitely not, but a big chunk of it, because there's obviously a partnership deal. The partner gets a percentage of that, and then Neoxa gets a percentage of that. So the Neoxa percentage of that, most of it will be burned, and the rest will be thrown into marketing, and that's where we will get majority of the marketing funds from. Because you got to remember, people always say, well, I don't want to hear any excuses because you're not doing marketing, because you're getting 5% of the development fund. Okay, so we run a very expensive cryptocurrency. It's not really cheap to do what we do. I mean, there's gaming servers, there's DDoS protections, there's so many things in the background where people think that they don't realize how expensive it is. 5% doesn't cover it. It definitely doesn't cover it right now. And
sure,
obviously in the future, we are confident that it will, but for now, it definitely doesn't cover it. And me and Harvey, we literally funding is, I would say, like 60% out of our own pockets. And unfortunately for now, it doesn't cover it. But yeah, we are confident enough to put our own money behind it, because we know in the future it's going to cover it and we will make profit. I mean, let's be real. We are also doing this for profit at the end of the day. We're not sitting here every day because we are working on this, I don't know how many hours a day, but at the end of the day, we want to make profit. And we want to see the coin succeed, everyone to make profit. And yeah, and that's why we did the partnership, because we know that's going to be good for Neoxa. It's going to bring more eyes to the project. It's going to bring more funding to the project, and it just gives us more leniency for future ventures. And yeah,
for sure. And the way I see it too, I see both of you more as career.
Yeah.
In this for a career, not basically as as what a pre-mine would do, and they get 1 million coins, and then all of a sudden it pumps by 10%, and then there goes the rug. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really like the way you guys are building this. So NDA aside, Toki also asks, who's the partnership with?
Don't tell you.
You guys aren't able to answer that, are you?
No Jedi mind tricks here.
An Asian company.
That's
what I could give you.
Okay. Okay. Can you offer? Is it an Asian gaming company?
Not necessarily. They expand into many things. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. I don't, and again, I don't want to make you guys, too uncomfortable or lose my high-paying job as moderator of Neoxa. Can you go into what are the terms of the partnership, and what does each party get from it? And I get it, guys. There's only so much you can tell us, but can you expand on a little bit of that?
So, in terms of the partnership, we get funding, and we also get a future, like a percentage of when the mobile gaming goes live and monetization goes live, we get a percentage of that. That's what Neoxa gets. In terms of them, they obviously get a part of the development fund, and also they get a revenue share on the mobile games. Remember, when you monetize mobile games, you make dollars, and so they get a revenue share from that too. That goes purely to them. We don't touch that. While the money that comes to us, we can spend on Neoxa for marketing, and like I said, what we want to do is burn some points. We buy some points on the exchange automatically every time there's monetized money coming in. And that's what each party gets. There's not too much more to that.
Okay. Yeah, and I believe the partner, I think you said they were getting 20% of the dev fee or something like that. Is that still part of it?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. And one of the last questions is how will the partnership help Nexa grow? But I think you've already answered it.
I don't think
it
will.
Go ahead.
Nexa grow. Yeah, it won't let Nexa grow, but it will definitely let Neoxa grow.
I did it again, guys. Holy smokes.
I think Ginger's in the wrong project. I'm gonna have to check their Discord. Maybe that's where he is.
Yeah. So yeah, it will help us grow.
Fix this, please.
Banhammer.
Sorry about that, guys. Go ahead.
It helps us grow in terms of financing for the project, because we're still in the infant stages, and to be fair, we need a lot of funding to just move it forward. Luckily, for instance, the new exchange just fell into our laps, and luckily we don't have to spend more money on that. But there's a lot that we can use the money for. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good, guys, and we'll move along to some of the. I left the best for last, I guess. The exchange, the new exchange. We've been talking about the new exchange. When Binance, when KU Coin, when Kraken, when is this going to happen? So I'll combine two questions that Blind Pig asked, of course. Again, when Binance, KU Coin, Kraken, and ATI also asks when on other exchanges.
So the next exchange we'll be going to is FTX, and then just kidding. Yes. So I can't say when Binance or any other exchange, but we've got the liquidity. So people need to understand we're going to innovation zone, and they give us the opportunity. It's not something that we basically approach them and paying money for. So we are getting the opportunity to go there. It's definitely not something that's in our hands. And in all honesty, I've looked at projects, I've fucking studied this, and I've seen that it can take time. I mean, there's some projects that's gonna get listed there. It just takes fucking 5-6 months. So
Sure.
we just
Yeah.
can't say how
We
long.
can't
I
say.
mean,
Yeah, I mean, again, we can't say what it is, when it is, and that's just the way it is. I mean, I know we're given this opportunity, we got liquidity, which is again is a big people. It's quite a big thing as well. I mean, it's a large amount of liquidity, and we're
yeah,
grateful for that, and we just go with it. And unfortunately, it's not in our hands with quite a few things.
Sure. So did this exchange just reach out to Neoxa? Did they just send you an email?
well,
Or like, how did it come about?
well, it's between me and Harvey. We don't, nah, not spam, but I mean, we reached out to so many exchanges and so many people. And sometimes some comes back, some doesn't. I mean, now we don't reach out to any more exchanges. We don't see the need for it. But before, I mean, we reached out to so many, and yeah, we got a response, and did security audits, did audits on me, did audits on Harvey, did made sure everyone's okay. I mean, we had to give them our IDs and all that shit. So yeah, and they just said, okay, well, we'll give you the opportunity, but gonna need some liquidity. And then we asked someone from this Discord to give, well, not give, but we asked if they would want to provide liquidity, and yeah, he's well invested in Neoxa and said yeah. So that's where it stands, and it's really not nothing else I can say to it.
So this exchange that's listing Neoxa, is it still a top 10 exchange? Can you answer
Oh
that?
yeah,
Yeah.
uh-huh, yeah.
Well, that was a quick answer, guys.
Yeah.
So, so for all you
Yeah.
speculators out there, I think we're going to be good on the exchange.
Yeah, we'll never need a new exchange again. That's about it.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't see the
maybe.
need for another exchange.
Oh, the Moon Boys. Moon Boys are coming in. I'm just watching the chat as we go along. It's pretty hilarious. It's funny.
Yeah.
So I guess what we'll do, we've got a few minutes left here. We're doing really well. We're about 45 minutes into the presentation or the AMA. I think we'll just open it up to some live questions, and maybe we'll touch on marketing. Andy, you mentioned marketing dollars. Owl Guardco asks, what can we do as a community to best assist and spread the word about Neoxa?
Social networking, pretty
Yeah.
much.
I mean, I'm gonna. Oh, so carry on.
We've been pretty much lacking with social media. We definitely, me and Harvey had to talk today, so we'll start creating a social media pack, and better pushing on social media, because that's some area we've been slacking, to be fair.
I'm gonna start on Twitter's gonna be a daily occurrence. Just touching on a few things on there, and just grow socials.
And yeah, people can help retweet or share or whatever.
Zoki just came up with a question in live chat. Can you disclose what the price of the partner will be paying for 20% of the dev funds, predetermined price, market price, and discounted market price? Zoki, I know I love you, man, but I think a lot of that is still under NDA. You guys want to comment on that?
Not really.
No.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. So let's zip over to some live questions here, guys. Go ahead and ask your questions, and we'll see how many we can get to in the next few minutes here. Oh, best mod ever! Oh my goodness! Oh, I love the warm fuzzies, guys. Thank you. I will.
Can we volunteer to test Masternodes? Yes, once it's on the testnet.
Anyone can, yeah.
For sure. One question that was put in the into the AMA questions yesterday was, what is the long-term 5-year vision for Neoxa? Where do developers hope to see Neoxa in 5 years?
At the top. I mean, it's just at the top. I mean, again, there's not many cryptocurrencies that do what we do, and it'd be good to have everything streaming, Masternodes, mining, gaming, just something new, and again, something fun. That's the whole point in Neoxas. We want to be fun.
Sure, and I mean, like, let's open it up. Like 5 years down the road for Neoxa, big, hairy, audacious goals. So where do you see you guys?
I mean, what we want is pretty much while we're doing the partnership now, for instance, we see a long-term goal with them, and what I didn't even mention earlier, they will add to help us with development as well in the future, where we can possibly create new things. And in 5 years, I don't know, man. It's such a shitty question. I don't know how to answer those. But because we changed so much, everything changed so much since the start of Neoxa, and it's very hard to say. But for us, we know where we go to a new exchange, and so in the next year, I think we'll do incredible. Next 5 years, yeah, even better. But for the next year, I really think we're gonna do very well.
Okay, fair enough. And one of the questions, IV4 and Real, can you confirm if the exchange is top 3 or not?
No.
Fuck off.
No. I think
Okay, guys,
I think if we start saying top 10s, top 5, top 3, it's
Yeah,
top
okay.
10. That's it.
Okay, fair enough,
Yeah,
guys.
okay.
Stop
go
it,
ahead,
Rune
guys.
boys.
So I was asked if Neoxa is open to have a donation to fund what the community is interested in helping out on. And that's something that we did back when I was with Flux. We did some community initiatives. And again, it goes to marketing, I think. I was reading a little bit between the lines about this partnership and the investment. And it seemed like you guys were thinking that, some of that is going to be directed, right to marketing. Would that be correct?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And I'll ask another question, just because I can.
Ask as many questions as you like.
Yeah. Were you thinking of getting, was this mostly going to be done as a community marketing effort? Now, I'm not saying this should be binary where it's one or the other, but you guys are busy. You're working on a bunch of things at the same time. Do you guys think that you guys will be hiring a professional marketing firm to handle some of this?
In the future, I believe so, yeah. The thing is, what people don't realize, we have a lot of people saying, oh, marketing this, marketing that. What people don't realize, the best marketing is actually community marketing. And it, again, I mean, you can load up some Google ads, you can load up some Facebook ads, and I mean, you can really target them. But again, community marketing, we have the games, we have everything else. The community marketing is great, and it works for every project. But again, of course, we'll have proper marketing once we get closer to like Masternodes and we have a launch date and we have the block. We'll start pushing that more.
Sure. And would you agree, as a startup, there's stuff you just need to build first?
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Like you want to be able to market, I think, when you've got something, when you've got, you've got a real hook to market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's good. Guys in the channel, feel free to write some more questions. We've got a few more minutes still left to go with the guys. Will U.S. traders be able to trade Neoxa on the new exchange? I don't think we can answer that, guys.
Yeah. Because then we just give everything away.
Yeah. That's a trick question. That's a Jedi mind trick question right there. So,
oh yeah.
Need more Neoxa. Nice try. Nice try. Their juju is way too strong to answer that question.
Yep.
Is there an idea of the specs required for the streaming capable size? Can we have a jackpot for guessing the right exchange? I'm saying Neoxa futures. Will each masternode require its own VPS? Can it run on a Docker? Does each node need a unique public IP address? I think we answered it. We already answered this one.
Yeah. We answered that. Right now, it's one IP per node, but who knows in the future is what we know so far.
Well, we can have.
Good question here. When will the NDAs be concluded? Good question, Stone One.
NDAs be concluded when the contract is done. Yeah.
Can a higher tier node be released sometime with the 550k one?
In the future, yeah.
Maybe in the future, yeah. Exchange required us to done first with Masternode, and then listing will happen. Not really, no.
Estimate for Masternode end of March.
Yeah. Is zelcore still coming?
We don't know. Well, it's still coming.
I believe so,
we
yeah.
don't know how long it will take. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anything we should expect for March is Masternode. So, only thing we should expect for March is Masternode. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Fair enough. Yeah.
I mean, is that not enough? What do you want? I mean, I could send feet pictures if you want.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Everyone always, I mean, people always want more, don't they? More.
Get a Minus asks, are you hiring new devs, teammates? You did allude to a new developer that's coming as part of this partnership deal.
Well, the partnership deal doesn't bring a new developer. It brings a group of people that will assist us when we need it.
Yeah.
But as for a new developer, he's going to start on working on Masternodes. And we hopefully get everything started this week.
Okay, so Andy, did you say that the partner is bringing resources, like human resources, as developers for the project?
So it gives us the opportunity. If we want something done, we can ask them, and they're very open to it. They do have plenty of developers, so when we need it, we can definitely ask for it. Yeah.
Okay, and I'd assume then that also applies to mobile development too. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting, guys. I think Harvey was getting a little nervous on that question, but I think we got a little more out of him. I am trying here, guys. Let's see here. Master tier lists. No, I don't. Again, you guys mentioned tiers, not a priority right away.
In the future, yeah.
Okay, and I guess one question I have about the nodes: why 550K, not 500K or 600K? Why 550?
Why 550K?
I think it was just a calculation done at the time of the price and all that sort of thing. But I mean, we can't really change that now. It's set in stone, pretty much.
Sure.
Can we have 5.5 million nodes? Zoki, is that how much you've got in your wallet? Is that why we're saying this? Are we molding the project around you? There we go.
Nah, he doesn't have it anymore. I drained it. He said yesterday.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true.
I fucking drained it.
Yeah, that's very true.
When Neoxa Pokemon Go.
Get rid of him. Honestly, he's on the wrong team. we don't take 7 days to get a pool mine coins to your wallet. What about Ledger Wallet? I mean, people say this a lot. Like, what about Ledger? What about this? I mean, we've sent the emails out. It's just a case of waiting for them.
Yeah.
And we've done everything. It's just it's one of those things. We've done everything in terms of sending emails out, getting where we want to be, and it's just a case of will they do it?
Yeah,
It's up to them. I mean,
Okay, sounds
again,
good.
it's like the zelcore side of stuff, and when that's done, zelcore will be good. I mean, Flux is a good project, zelcore is good, and it'll be great. But again, it's out of our hands.
Okay, guys, I guess we're going to wind up here on the Neoxa. So, what did you guys want to add? Any closing comments to the community?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, man. I think everything is said that needs to be said.
Okay, and as for future AMAs, are we just going to do these ad hoc, or are we looking at maybe putting together a schedule, maybe one a quarter or something like that?
I
We
mean,
could,
we can do one a month.
yeah. I
We
mean,
can do
and I
on
think,
Twitter Spaces. I think we should start moving to Twitter Spaces, though.
yeah.
Probably not on Discord without growing the Twitter as well.
I mean, we used to do AMAs were quite regular. But
Yeah.
obviously with Andy being in the Thailand, it's been quite difficult. Obviously with time zones and stuff. But yeah, I like AMAs. I mean, I could sit here all day if you want and ask questions. I mean, I'm here all night.
Well, I mean, we can keep going on this. It doesn't have to be an hour. Just in my
Yeah,
experience, people tend to
yeah.
tune out after a while, and it's late for you guys too.
Oh, it's early for me.
We sit here in the morning hours every day, man.
Exactly. Yeah. Any plan for involving ChatGPT? I mean, what involvement do you want? I
Why?
mean, ChatGPT is good, but I don't see how it relates to Neoxa. I mean, yeah, ChatGPT's an AI bot which you ask questions, it do things. We need the AI hype. Maybe. Not sure how it relates to a gaming project, but again.
Okay, guys. I think we're exactly an hour though. I think we've covered all the major points. We're not really seeing a lot of new questions that really haven't been answered. Are you still having fun? Yeah. Top lesson learned. Yeah, get the damn name right. That's the lesson learned. But I think with that we'll wrap up, guys. And thank you everyone in the community for joining us for the Neoxa Community AMA. And if you guys will have me, I'll be certainly happy to host this next month.
Yeah, good shit.
And other than that, I think we're gonna call it a day, guys. So thanks again.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. All right, and we'll see you guys in the Discord. Thanks a lot, guys.
Peace out.
Thank you. Peace out.
Bye-bye.
Harvey, tell us. Harvey's still here. Oh, a secret. You want a secret, do you? It has ended. Everyone's left. Oh, you want secrets? Harvey's still here. Tell us more. Ah, guys, come on. Sneak peek.